Let's cut the noise. You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because you're still playing by rules you didn't write, waiting to be picked, to be validated. Meanwhile, louder, dumber people are passing you, not because they're better, but because they know something you don't. Life doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage and the courage to stop asking for permission. You think you're falling behind? You are, but not for the reasons you believe. Because right now, someone with less talent is outworking you. Someone with less skill is out-earning you. And someone with less fear is building the life you keep fantasizing about. This video won't motivate you. It's here to reprogram you. 15 truths. Unfiltered, uncomfortable, the kind of truths that make weak people scroll and strong people dangerous. Let's begin. Truth 1. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Let's kill the fairy tale right now. You don't magically get what you're worth. You get what you're willing to fight for. And most people, they were trained to follow instructions, not to demand better. That's why someone less qualified is making more money than you. Why someone with less experience is leading the project you wanted. And why the quiet, hard-working guy at the office always gets passed up. Not because he's not talented, but because he never asks. The world isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. But it is responsive to those who negotiate with confidence. Think about it. How many times have you accepted less than you wanted just to not cause problems? Meanwhile, someone else asked for more and got it. Stop hoping to be discovered. Start demanding to be seen. Because if you're not negotiating, you're getting negotiated against. Truth 2. The world doesn't reward potential, only proof. This one hurts, especially if you've been told you're full of potential your whole life. You could be the smartest person in the room, the most creative, the hardest working. But if there's no proof, no results, no receipts, nobody cares. The world doesn't reward maybes. It rewards momentum. You don't get hired for your potential. You get hired because someone saw you execute. You don't grow a brand because you could make great content. You grow it because you hit post again and again, even when it sucked. The people winning aren't always better. They're just more visible. They shipped faster. They built louder. They stacked proof while you were still tweaking. And here's the part that stings. Potential is actually a trap. It feels good, sounds flattering, but it gives your brain a reason to stall. Stop collecting compliments. Start collecting evidence. Truth 3. People trust confidence more than competence. You think if you just get better at your craft, the world will notice. Nope. We live in the age of perception, and perception rewards the bold. Confidence isn't a soft skill. It's a survival tool. That's why someone with half your skill set is leading the meeting. That's why the loud guy with wrong answers gets the mic, and why you, with all your knowledge, still hesitate to speak up. Because confidence isn't about being right. It's about being convincing. And here's the wild part. Confidence doesn't even have to be real. Fake confidence still works. Because people mirror your belief in yourself. Walk into a room like you belong, and most people won't question you. Stay quiet, shrink back, over-apologize, and people will assume you're not worth listening to. So no, the world won't always reward the most talented, but it will reward the one who shows up like they already won. Truth 4. You don't need to be liked, just respected. This one stings, especially if you were raised to be a people pleaser. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't even need most people to like you. You just need them to know you're not someone to mess with. Being liked is comfortable. Being respected is power. You can be the kindest person in the room, but if you let people walk all over you, you won't get a medal. You'll get taken advantage of. And here's the trap. Trying to be liked by everyone usually makes people like you less because it comes off needy, performative, fake. Respect, that comes from having boundaries, from showing your values, even when it's inconvenient, from being honest when it would have been easier to stay silent. Stop being scared of being misunderstood. Start being someone whose silence feels intentional, not insecure. Because the second people realize you don't need their approval, they start treating you differently. Truth 5. Most talent is consistency in disguise. You ever scroll past someone blowing up and think, how the hell are they winning? It's not always skill. It's not always luck. It's usually this. They just kept going when most people would have quit. You've been sold this idea that success is about being born gifted. But the people who win, they just show up more. You think your content isn't working? Check how many posts you've actually made. You think your skills aren't good enough? Cool. How many reps have you done publicly? The harsh truth is, most people don't fail because they suck. They fail because they stop. They post 3 times, see no results, and go ghost. They start a routine, break it once, and spiral. They look at someone consistent and call it talent, when it's just discipline plus time. If you want to be dangerous, be the one who doesn't flinch when it gets boring. Truth 6. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the start of leverage. Here's the plot twist no one talks about. Rock bottom isn't failure. It's freedom. Once you've lost what you were scared of losing, You become a threat. No expectations to manage, no image to protect, no more pretending you're okay when you're clearly not. It hurts? Yeah. But it also forces clarity, because when your old life falls apart, your real one has space to begin. Some of the most powerful people alive started with nothing, not because they were inspired, but because they had no other option, no backup plan, no ego, just urgency. You don't have to want to hit rock bottom, but if you're there, good. Now you've got nothing to lose. Let that be the start of your leverage, not the excuse to stay stuck. Truth 7. You're not behind, but you will be. If you keep scrolling instead of building, you're not as late as you think, but the clock's still ticking. Every scroll you convince yourself is inspiration, that's 15 more minutes you didn't use to actually build. Most people don't lose because they're slow. They lose because they stay in input mode forever. YouTube tutorials, productivity podcasts, motivational reels. It feels like progress, but it's not. You don't grow from what you consume. You grow from what you create. And here's what no one wants to admit. The people you admire, they're not better than you. They're just earlier in the game because they started while you were still hesitating. You don't need more tips. You need more output. Write the script. Launch the thing. Post the version you're not 100% proud of. Because if you're still scrolling tomorrow, you are falling behind. Truth 8. Clarity is a weapon. Ambiguity keeps people average. Most people walk through life like it's a foggy room. They kind of sort of want success. Maybe they want to grow. Eventually they'll get around to it when life chills out. But life won't chill out. And that vague, blurry energy, it's killing your momentum. Ambiguity is how you stay stuck without realizing it. Because if you don't know what you want, you won't know what to say no to. And guess what? The more options you allow in, the more traction you lose. Clarity cuts through that. I want this. I'm doing it by this time. And I'll say no to anything that slows me down. That kind of focus? Dangerous. Most people are busy. But the clear ones? They're the ones who get scary, effective, fast. Truth 9. If you're not obsessed, someone who is will outwork you. You want balance? Cool. Just understand someone else wants your dream, and they want it more. They're waking up earlier. They're skipping comfort. They're putting in disgusting amounts of reps, not because they're more talented, because they're obsessed. Obsession is uncomfortable, but it's the reason winners are always a few years ahead and never looking back. You can't casually chase something and expect to beat someone who treats it like oxygen. They're willing to fail in public, to work weekends, to bleed for it. And if you're still worried about what people think, they're passing you in real time. The truth? You don't need to match their talent. You just need to match their hunger, or accept that someone hungrier will do it for you. Truth 10. Most people secretly want permission to quit this one's dark, because you've probably felt it too. Most people don't actually want success. They want a valid excuse to stop trying. They want someone to say, it's okay, you gave it your best shot. You can rest now. Because pushing forward, risking failure again, admitting you still want it, that takes energy most people don't have anymore. So they mask it with burnout, with sarcasm, with the classic, I'm just not that into it anymore. But deep down, they're hoping the dream dies before they have to. Here's the edge. If you can be the one who doesn't quit quietly, you stand out without even trying. You don't have to be better. You just have to stay in the ring longer than the people secretly waiting for a way out. Truth 11. Your attention is worth more than your degree. You've been trained to believe the most valuable thing you have is your education, your credentials, your title. Wrong. The most valuable thing you own is your attention. Because attention builds skill. Attention builds audience. Attention is the currency of every winner in the digital age. The degree got you the first job. But your ability to control your focus, that's what makes you irreplaceable. And most people, they give it away for free. To apps, to drama, to people they don't even like. And then they wonder why they're stuck. The harsh truth is, you don't have a motivation problem. You have an attention economy problem. Control that, and you unlock compounding success faster than any diploma ever could. Truth 12. If you're always available, you're signaling you're not valuable. If people can get your time anytime, they start to believe it's not worth much. That sounds harsh, but it's how we all operate. Urgency is value. Scarcity creates demand. And if you're always replying instantly, always saying yes, always on call, you're training people to treat you like background noise. Think about it. The most respected people you know, they're not accessible 24/7. They're selective, intentional, strategic, because their time is protected. You're running customer support for your own life, sprinting to answer every ping, every favor, every "can I pick your brain?" And every time you do it, your perceived value drops a little more. Want to be taken seriously? Make access to you earned, not assumed. It's not arrogance. It's positioning. Truth. 13. If you can suffer for 6 months, you can separate yourself for 6 years. Most people can't handle short-term pain. That's why they live in long-term disappointment. Discipline isn't about grinding forever. It's about being able to suck it up for just long enough to escape the cycle. 6 months of consistent effort, of showing up when it's boring, uncomfortable, even lonely, can put you so far ahead that everyone else will need years to catch up. But they won't, because they'll still be debating if now's the right time to start. While you were suffering, quietly, and compounding the whole time. The secret isn't in going harder, it's in going longer than most people are willing to endure. Anyone can sprint, very few can bleed strategically. Do that, and you'll be untouchable by the time they look up. Truth 14. You don't win by being liked. You win by being useful. We live in a world obsessed with image, aesthetic, likability, vibes, and that's why most people stay broke. Being liked gets you followers. Being useful gets you freedom. You can spend years curating the perfect personal brand, or you can solve real problems and become irreplaceable. And here's what they don't tell you. You don't need to be the smartest, the most charismatic, or even the most liked. You just need to be someone who gets shut done and helps others do the same. People remember value, not personality. If you're useful enough, people will tolerate your flaws. If you're just likable, they'll forget you in 5 minutes. Build skill, solve pain, deliver results. Be a weapon, not a mascot. Truth 15. Power doesn't come from knowing. It comes from applying faster than others learn. This one separates thinkers from builders. Everyone has access to information now. Podcasts, books, courses, free game everywhere. And yet, most people stay stuck because they mistake knowing for growing. They binge YouTube tutorials for 3 hours and call it working on the business. Meanwhile, someone else watched one video and executed it by lunch. That's where the power is. In speed of implementation, in how fast you turn knowledge into action. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to move while they're still overanalyzing. The edge is not knowing more. It's using what you know before it's common. In a world full of thinkers, be the one who builds. You know what separates the people who actually change from the ones who just binge videos like this? Action. Most will nod, save, and move on. Like the truth didn't just slap them in the face, but if you're still here, you already know you're capable of more. The scary part isn't that you're behind. It's that you're still wasting time even after knowing all this. And if that hit, good. Because the next thing you need to hear is even worse. You've already wasted 60% of 2025. Keep scrolling and you'll waste the rest.